I moved to the Starland District in about 6-7 years ago. I believe I was attending SCAT at the time. I dropped out probably that same year, started working at a nonprofit around here. One thing that I was always attracted to in this area was it felt, for me, still yet unformed. That this was a place that I could help co-create with many other people, with friends, with people in the community, to create something kind of new. I remember referring to this place as kind of the Wild West of Savannah, where it had a basic infrastructure that allowed us to do things. It was not too far from downtown, so people could walk here, but it also wasn't under the watchful eye necessarily of a local government, and that allowed for us to do things that were crazy and unique and very fun, very crazy.
And I moved to Savannah in 2010 and realized there was no record shop for some bizarre reason, coming from Chicago, which had probably 24 at the time. So within 10 months of being here, I opened up Great Base, and I chose the Starland District because from my few months living here, it was the only neighborhood that had any sort of texture, like a true grittiness to it and a true character. Slowly being lost, but that's another question.
Well, historically, we saw this location as a centralized location for all the neighborhoods, and historically this was a business section back in the 20s, 30s, which was originally David's grocery store across the street. So it was the first grocery store in Savannah.
It's nothing here when it started.
Yeah. I mean, we've always developed, the local neighborhood area, but we were drawing in people from the landings and Skidaway area. So it was a slow start.
But we started with what? There wasn't a lot here as far as this building. I guess what I mean by that is we were literally standalone on the corner. There weren't like condos or anything like that at the time. Yeah, it was just literally the building and trees. Empty lot. So if you can imagine that, the condos weren't here. But we did have Boys to Men Barber Shop across the street, who have been here a long time, and let's not forget them.
Yeah.
And they've had a thriving business for many years, and they were great supporters of ours, as well as the David's grocery store. They would come over and support us. And then we definitely would draw from the neighborhoods like Ardsley Park, Baldwin Hills. It's very central to all of those. So, yeah.
Been in Starland for 4 years. When I first opened up, I was on the back side of this street. Hey, sweetness, come here, Gyp Girl. I named my store after my sweet loving dog here, Gypsy Girl. I was in a small cubicle on DeSoto Street, and when this space became available, I immediately moved over to the Bull Street side of Starland. Huge difference. Love it. Love, love, love being here in Starland.
At the time, Ben Carter had gone on to Broughton Street and bought up a lot of the empty properties, and lease rates excelled, and I had to take a moment to myself to decide, do I want to serve the tourist, or do I want to be more of a community-based business? So I decided that Starland is where the creative entrepreneurs were gathering and had been for years. We were still waiting for it to grow and make things happen. So I thought that joining this neighborhood would be a good idea for my business model. Vintage clothing attracts creative people, so this would be the right neighborhood to open my business. And I was going to be planting roots here and trying to be here for the long run, for the potential growth that was to come, because there was a ripple effect. So as Ben Carter priced out the locals like myself, new business owners, but then in return, I think it was a good thing because other areas of Savannah started to flourish where they might have taken another 5 or 10 years to do so.